Everybody, welcome to Drive Thru Review 206. Today I'm going to review Spyrium, or Spyrium, I believe it's pronounced Spyrium. New release from Asmodee, plays 2 to 5 players. Box is 30 to 90 minutes. This is definitely a quicker Euro. Definitely, I think you can get this done under an hour, maybe not so much with 5. I haven't played with 5. But this is by William Adia, who designed Kalis, which is one of my all-time favorite games. Totally nothing like Kalis. I mean, it's a Euro, but that's where the comparison should stop. Like I said, it's a quick Euro. It reminds me of Spyrium or Firenze, which a lot of people haven't played, but is also coming out soon. But basically one of those nice 1 hour, 45-minute to 1 hour Euros that has a really nice fair bit of strategy and decisions and all that good stuff packed into the time frame that it gives you. So definitely not like Kalis, where it's going to take you a good hour and a half, 2 hours, and it has it's kind of a bear, at least the first couple times you play, to grasp. This one is easier to grasp. I would say probably give it one play just so you can kind of see all these cards as they come out and get a feel for it. But after that, you should you should be good with it. And again, it only takes about 45 minutes or so. So let me show you how it works and then come back and tell you what I think. Okay, so I've got the game set up here. You've got sort of a main board here. There's a scoring track that goes around there. You got some iconography in these two spots here. They're going to give you kind of an idea of what you can be doing on your turn. There's sort of 2 phases, but that is a little bit wonky. I'll explain that in a second. You've got an income track here. Everybody's going to start at 2. And then you've got sort of these special news event kind of cards here or something. So we're going to turn over one of these to start, and then the other side you're going to see what's coming up next. So for this round, basically what this says is that you can spend $1 for each worker you currently own, and you start with 3, and then you can get a new worker. You can see there's some extra workers up there that you can add into your supply. So you can basically do that once per round. And then the next round we'll see this one, you can spend $3 to get 3 points, or you can spend $6 to get 5 points. And these are going to be available to all the players as the rounds go by. Now you've also got here 9 cards out in the middle, and these are dealt from an A deck, and then we've also got a B deck, and then a C deck. So the game is going to play over 6 rounds. You're going to basically do 3 rounds in the A deck, 2 rounds from the B deck, and then finally the 6th round from the C deck. So you're not going to see every card every game. You will see every C card every game, which is important. But these are going to do a couple of different things, and this is the main area of the board that you're going to be interacting with. What players are going to be doing on their turn in this first phase, you can see this little worker here. Basically, they're going to be putting workers in between the cards like so. So maybe yellow goes there, green goes here. Now you don't place workers on the outside. It's always got to be in these lanes here. So maybe red goes here. And what you're trying to do, in a sense, is drive up the price of the different cards. So I'm just going to put some workers out here like so. And so once everybody has, let's see, 3 workers there, then you might start pulling workers off. Now you don't have to wait till everybody's done pulling workers off. For your turn, you can actually move your disc over here, and now you can start pulling workers off right away. So if you have workers left, then you won't be able to place them out here, but maybe you want to sort of try to ninja some of these cards that are out here before somebody else. So it's a kind of a way of playing chicken. And you may also want to keep extra workers in your supply to activate some of these buildings which you may have already acquired in previous rounds. So what happens here, once you start pulling workers off, you can do a couple of different things. You can pull a worker off and just get money. Okay, so if I wanted to pull this guy off here, I could basically pull him off and I would get $2 for either card here. I could say I'll pull this off and I'm going to get $1 for each worker around that card. So if a card gets really popular and a lot of people want it, then it's going to be a lot more expensive also to activate that card. So if we had put these workers here and I pull this off, I could either get $4, 1 for each worker there, or I could purchase this card here. So this is sort of a technology. See, it normally costs $6, but it's going to cost $1 extra for each worker. So instead of pulling this off to get $4, I could pull this off and then buy this for 10. So 6 plus the 4 workers there. And the same with the building here. So this is normally a $2 building. I could pull my worker off here, take the $2, or I could pay $2 plus 2 for the building. So this is a very interesting mechanism because there may be, one of these cards that, you really want, but, which lane do you choose it? If you really wanted to activate this character, do I put it here or do I put it here? Because somebody may snake it from underneath me, and, how popular do I think it's going to be? Is it going to be something that's popular and I don't really want? Then I can go there to drive the price up so that I can start to get money and money is tight. You start with $8, but you're definitely going to be spending through that. So what are the different cards here? Well, the building is very simply, you buy these, and then you're going to put these to the right of your little player aid card here. So you can see it gives you your starting information, and then to the right you can see you place the blue buildings. And then to the left here you can place, these green technologies like so. So again, when you buy the building, you pay the cost plus whatever workers were around it, and then you're going to put it in a slot. Well, you can see here, you've got 0, 1, 2. So your first building slot is free. It's $0. But your second one is going to cost you an extra $1. And then your third one's going to cost you 2, and then 3, and then 4, and so on. So as you start to get, more buildings growing out in front of you, they're also going to be more expensive to build that way. Now you can also build on top of pre-existing buildings without having to pay these extra fees, so that's also something to keep in mind as well. So the buildings and the tech you're just going to put in front of you and display and then use throughout the rest of the game. These characters are sort of a one-time activated ability that everybody can use, but the price is obviously going to go down. So if we had some workers here, and let's say I was green, and basically this means convert one of my Spyrium nuggets here, which you can see those right there, I can convert that into 3 points. So I pull that, I got to pay $2 because there's 2 guys around that card, and convert it for $3. Now the next guy to do it, he's going to do that, and he's only going to be able to do it for $1, and then again he can do it and basically do it for free. So that's kind of interesting the way that works with the characters. And the buildings are going to have a couple of different things. So like this building here, once you buy it, you get an extra worker, and then that's it. It's going to be worth 3 points at the end of the game, but for all effective purposes, that has been used. The other ones here with these little arrows here, you can basically tap these or exhaust these. And so this one basically says use a worker and 2 Spyrium, and then you activate it, and then you get 5 points. So you can do that basically once per round. Now there are some abilities that will let you sort of untap a building so you can use it again. That's a big part of the game. The other thing you've got here is your income track. This is the amount of coins you're going to get every turn. So as you sort of move up here, you're going to get more and more income as the game goes on. Now you can also, if you want, get points here as well. So if you get an ability, let's say like this one here, where you spend money, instead of moving it, you can actually leave it where it is and get that many points. Another interesting type of card is anything with this symbol here. You're going to draw out these tokens here, basically equal to the number of players minus 1, and then the first player to go here will be able to do whatever the effect is for one of their choices here. So this one, you basically pay that amount to increase your income. Well, the first person to pull it off is actually going to want to do it for 1, and then whoever is there last will have to do it for 3. And there's some that will let you get items, like get points or coin or Spyrium. In that case, you'll take the higher number one. And like I said, once on a turn, everybody's got a disc where they can go and activate this card. And again, we're going to see new cards here, so you can spend a Spyrium to get income, all kinds of stuff. You can pay $1 to untap a building and then reuse it immediately. So a lot of the cards are going to be based around, generating Spyrium and then spending Spyrium to get victory points. It's very sort of traditional, turning things into points type of Euro. And we can take a look at some of the C cards just so you have an idea. Like this one gives you 6 points. This one will give you 12. This one you can turn a Spyrium into 4 points. Where's the big one? Here it is. So this is a 1 here. So you can either spend 2 workers and 3 Spyrium to get 10 points, or 2 and 5 to get 15. And that's really cool if you can do, an untap. That's going to be 30 points right there. So again, at the end of the game, you're going to score basically all the points that you've accumulated, through spending Spyrium and things. You're going to add up all your building points. And you're also going to get points here from some of the technologies. And the technologies give you sort of a special ability as well as an end game bonus scoring at the bottom there. So this one, for example, you can see you're going to reduce the cost for your building slots here. So remember, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one is going to reduce that slot cost by 3 for each of those spots. And then you're going to get 1 point, an additional point for each building. And all of these techs have a maximum of 7 bonus points. So this one here, basically you get 1 point where you're at though. So if we zoom in there, you can see you got 2, 3, 5, 7. So if you were maxed out there, you would get 7 points for that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the overview. The first time I played this game, I really got kind of wrapped into the shifting of the phases. So basically, like I said, you're going to be placing workers, and then at some point you're going to decide to move your token over and then start being able to pull workers off and then activating your buildings. So a lot of the game I was kind of hung up on, when you do that. And that is very much an important part of the game, is trying to, I'm going to move over and snag that building and either get a lot of money because, enough workers have built up that I'm satisfied, or, snag one of those really nice buildings that's going to, do a lot for me, or activate one of the characters and such. But as, I've played it more, and the variety and the position of those cards and as they come out, that's made the game a lot more interesting. Well, at least it's added to its sort of variety and flavor. So if you have got like a certain building next to a certain character, well, both of those seem like they're going to be good, so you can go there. And then if somebody takes something from you, then it's not so big a deal because you have sort of your fallback plan, and it maybe ends up being a little bit cheaper. So gauging what people are going to desire and what they're going to go for is going to be a big part of the game, and that's why I think you need that first play to sort of ingest what is valuable, what kind of works well together, and some of those different techs can be, pretty drastic and make the game a lot easier for somebody versus somebody else. So it's really kind of this balance between those two mechanics. The mechanic of those lanes and where all the cards are, and the variety of how those come out, as well as the variety of those like news event cards that are on the board. Because the cards that let you sort of untap and tap a building, those are gigantic at the end of the game. Where some of the others where you get like new workers and stuff, that's not going to be so great at the end of the game because you've probably already got your workers. And I forgot. So when you go around the scoring track, there's also a way to unlock extra money and get an extra worker as you hit like 8 and 20 points. You can get a free thing there. So it's kind of good to score points early as well, which is interesting because most of the time with these games, you are very much an engine idea. You're trying to get engine. Where this is nice because if you get those early points, it can actually make your engine a little bit easier. Give you the extra money, give you the extra worker to do things. So anyway, again, that duality between how those cards come out and how that's going to sort of shake out the game and play it up a little bit differently, balanced with that whole idea of basically pulling your guy out and then being able to start to pull workers. That's a very cool, dual. I don't know if it's a duality, but there's this interesting sort of back and forth between those two mechanics. That's very interesting. So, anyway, I think this is a game that's going to have a fair bit of replayability, and it definitely has that Spyrium, Firenze feel to it of a nice, solid 1 hour Euro game that's very fun. And it has this one, it kind of elicits a little bit of trash talking because you're going to be jacking cards from people, and you're going to be, just screwing people over, and taking the card that they were really hoping for that would just really make their engine sing. So, the theme again is not even existent in the game at all, but it doesn't really matter to me in this case. So, anyway, that's Spyrium. Definitely take a look at it. Thanks.